The best affordable mechanical dive watch, a title that's been quite contested in the world of watches, and I've mentioned several other just watches on this channel before that might be worthy of the title. But today we look at a watch that I think is now making a very strong claim in terms of holding that title and not giving it up for quite some time. Now, whether you're actually a professional diver or just a watch enthusiast, I think the world in general, with just the new evolving norms of everything going a little bit more casual, have allowed the rise of sports watches and dive watches. And when looking at the affordable tier of dive watches available, honestly, really stiff competition. As if you've ever searched for affordable dive watch options, chances are you've been bombarded with endless talk of the Seiko SKXs, the Citizen Pro Masters, and new micro brands jumping into the mix, what seems to be like every other week. But with the beloved SKX becoming discontinued and prices rising, Orient have jumped into the pack, establishing themselves as probably the best choice for an entry-level mechanical dive watch, even in my eyes, with the Orient Mako 2 and the Ray 2, a video that I did a year ago talking about the Mako 2 as being my choice as the best entry-level mechanical dive watch. And at that time of releasing that video, the Kamasu and the Kano had yet to be officially announced, but now with them here for a while, I think it's time to revisit my claim and see for a bit more money how much better the Kamasu actually is. Hey guys, Teddy Baldassarre from the future here. Before we get into the rest of this video, I just want to make a really big announcement. I recently partnered up with eBay to do a luxury watch giveaway, giving one of you the opportunity to choose any luxury watch up to $5,000 off eBay of your choice. To enter, click the link in the description of the video and register. I'll be announcing the winner on Instagram Live, so make sure you're also following me there, as I'll also be hanging out answering questions before announcing the winner. And for the person who wins, I'll also be jumping on a Skype call to congratulate and help you pick out your new watch. Act fast. Good luck to all of you that are entering, and thanks to eBay for sponsoring this giveaway and making this possible. Now, looking at a rundown of the watch from a high level, we have a case size of 41.8 millimeters, a little bit closer to 41 millimeters flat when measuring with my calipers, thickness of 12.8 millimeters, lug width of 22 millimeters, lug to lug of 46.3 millimeters, crystal, sapphire, water resistance of 200 meters, and it is powered by an automatic Orient F6922. One area where the Kamasu really thrives is in the case of wearability, and no pun intended there, as the case itself is just really well proportioned. As the case diameter of 41 millimeters really does not tell the entire story here, as the watch wears closer to that of a 39 or 40 millimeter case. The lug to lug, when compared to a popular everyday model, the Seiko Sarbs of the world, the Seiko Sarb 033 and 035, is barely a millimeter more, which I think begins to provide context to how this Kamasu, considering its vast difference with styling while having a larger case diameter by 3 millimeters. But how this is achieved becomes easier to notice once you look at the Kamasu from its side profile, showcasing highly rounded out lugs that tuck without sinking beneath the bottom of the screw down case back. The lugs have a brush finish on the anterior side, with it gradually transitioning to a higher polished side of the case. The execution does not exhibit a stark transition in finish given the absence of a hairline bevel of any sort, but does look a bit more premium than other Orient divers available. Adding to the momentum of this one-upping the rest of the catalog, the Kamasu also comes with a 120 click unidirectional bezel that is smooth in its action, has a little bit of play, but given the help of its deeply grooved notches in the bezel edge, really does make this one pretty impressive for at least the price. In addition, the lettering and the markers on the bezel are a substantial step up in terms of their design, in my opinion, in comparison to that of the Mako 2 and the Ray 2. Casting across the dial, we have a flat sapphire crystal that assists in the watch's rather slim profile for a diver at 12.8 millimeters. So with this Kamasu, there's a lot of just characteristics that serve in its favor of reaching that claim of being perhaps the best affordable mechanical dive watch. But with that claim, I think you have to also just be objective about what could be the areas of improvement. And two things that kind of stood out for me right away. One was just kind of the uniquely shaped crown and just how it was structured. Seeing that small gap in the actual crown position from the crown guards was a little bit weird for me when looking at it. It does look a little unnatural. I think either rounding out the crown guards to get a little bit more tucked towards the crown or just increasing the crown size. I don't know which one would actually look better, but I think cleaning that up would certainly help. In addition, the bracelet, like many watches of this price tier, is an area where the affordability is felt a bit more. The 3-link bracelet follows an oyster style, meaning at a fold over locking clasp with a 2-button release on the underside. It also has 4 micro adjustment points, which will help with sizing and can be accessed with the help of a strap tool. So I probably would opt to get this on a factory rubber, making this an even more affordable piece, and purchase a couple of NATOs, maybe spending a bit more for a third-party bracelet option, or maybe a leather strap. And yes, I do wear my divers on a leather strap, and I don't feel bad about it. However, overall, we have a wearing experience that is quite exceptional for the price, as the Kamasu will be accommodating to both those that are not often comfortable with watches above 40 millimeters on their wrist, while not scaring away those with larger wrists, as I would say anyone from a 6-inch wrist, or say 15.24 centimeters, and an 8-inch wrist, 20.32 centimeters, can have a lot of fun with this one on. Now to this point in the review, I've mentioned the Orient Mako 2 and the Ray 2 quite frequently and differentiated how this Kamasu is a bit better with its sapphire crystal as one key contributing point, as well as the bezel, which I think is improved into its styling. But looking a little bit further into the actual design of this piece is where I think this one does really stand out. Looking at the dial of this blue dial variant, one of several other variants offered, we see a mild textured finish, which looks really cool when looking at it up close with the macro lens, also having a semi-brushed sunburst finish as well. And on this channel, I've had the opportunity to shoot and play with a lot of different watches, and this dial actually reacts to the light pretty uniquely, looking its true blue when directly in the light and darker when in the shadows, all while exhibiting a nice level of texture when getting extremely close to the macro lens. And I don't want to go too far with this, as I think there are still signs of this being a $200 watch in some of the finishing on the indices. But for what this watch is, I think it outputs a nice end product that is unique. Moving towards the center of the dial, we probably have my new favorite handset on any Orient diver, a title that was previously owned by the Orient Mako 2 USA. The hour hand comes in a sword arrow style. The minute hand is long, extending to the outer markers, and the thin second hand that has a small red triangular tip. All the hands come with Luminova, matching that of the applied indices, and the small lume pip in the bezel. The lume is more than capable and provides a nice glow in the dark, being on par with comparable Seiko 5s and non-ISO diver models. At the 3 o'clock, we have the day date function outlined in a steel frame, which on the subject of, mine also comes with dual languages, featuring all the days of the week in Spanish, but I've also seen these available offering different languages as well, so perhaps this is something to consider for those where English isn't their native tongue. At the 12, we have the applied Orient logo, and at the 6, the writing of the watch is very capable, 200 meters of water resistance and clean cursive. One final distinction with this dial that really stood out right away was the absence of a chapter ring, with the minute markings appearing right on the dial, which I actually prefer quite a bit. And with all the issues that some Japanese watch brands have with aligning these little pesky things, this seems to be even a better move, because as the old saying goes, you can never misalign a chapter ring if you don't have a chapter ring. Now, disregarding high horology for a second, because I think that's a different scenario to talk about, but when talking about affordable watches, the idea of in-house calibers within them, I think, is incredibly overrated, because it jeopardizes the #1 draw to getting one of those watches in the first place, which is getting it at a cheaper price. But when it comes to Orient, you don't have to necessarily sacrifice price for getting an in-house caliber. Flipping this watch over now, we have a closed screw-down case back with a simple printed emblem in the middle, protecting the automatic Orient F6 922 within. A movement that has become a common player within Orient's lineup of dive watches and operates in a pretty straightforward manner. Following the unscrewing of the screw-down crown at the 3, the user can change the date by rotating counterclockwise and change the day by rotating clockwise. At the farthest pulled out position, this watch is fully hackable, stopping the second hand by way of the balance, giving you the ability to set the time precisely. The Orient Automatic F6 922 operates at 21,600 vibrations per hour, minus 15 seconds to plus 25 seconds a day. I found this one actually running only 7 seconds off of perfect time here. It also has a hackable movement again and a power reserve of 40 hours. And I don't think anything more needs to be said about this movement, because at its core, it's just a basic entry-level mechanical caliber, But when looking at the competition in the price range, you begin to have more appreciation for what Orient is providing for the money and doing all of these movement constructions in-house. Now, one of the most asked questions that I get on my Instagram as well as other places is, Teddy, what should my first watch be? And usually coming with this question is really no other context whatsoever, making it quite difficult to provide an answer. But when asked this question, regardless of how deep I get into the situation of the person asking, I always feel confident in saying Orient is a good place to start. Are the watches the greatest pieces in the world? No. But with watches like this Kamasu, you're getting an honest product that is great for the money, and most importantly, it's fun to wear. And with the SKX demanding higher prices and the Mako 2 and Ray 2 perhaps needing a little bit of a heightened refresh with its design, I think the Kamasu is an amazing choice for those looking to get a tough yet attractive dive watch for $200 to $250 that can serve both as seasoned enthusiasts looking for a new piece to play with, or for those that are just getting started. And for me, it was an Orient. That was my first mechanical watch that I ever purchased. It was a Bambino. It was a watch that opened the floodgates into this world of watches, and I eventually passed along that watch to my brother, and now he has continued to build his collection. And with this in mind, it makes me happy to be able to review a watch like this Kamasu, as I know for many, it will serve what my first Orient served me in my journey with watches, a journey that will no doubt last a lifetime. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That really does help out this channel and allowing it to grow, so I really would appreciate that. Also, if you want an opportunity to win a giveaway of a up to $5,000 watch, be sure to listen to all the details that I expressed in the beginning, and big thank you to eBay for making this possible for one of you guys to go home with a new luxury watch. So make that happen, guys. Also, guys, if you want to stay up to date on the announcement of that giveaway, as well as up to date with me when new videos are coming, when they go out, honestly, I recommend Instagram as well as a great place to follow me. Be sure to actually be following me there so you can be the first to know. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.